Dan here, DD Speed Shop, 57 Chevrolet. We bought this thing a little while ago, and we're fixing to two-door it right here, right now. Realistically, I know this would be a really nice car to keep as a four-door cruiser, but look at all the stuff that's inside, and it's way easier to unload it when you have nothing in the middle. So, we're gonna gingerly remove this door panel. And this here is going to be how you're going to make a 57 Chevrolet. Real quick, real easy, real cheap. We're in this car $1,000, and then I think 1,000. I keep forgetting what it was. 1,200, something like that. And then I have a pile of two-door doors, Tri-5 doors. So if anybody first time watching this, or you're confused or whatever, I've done a few of these now. Tri-5 Chevrolets, 5, 6, 7. Oh man, this has never been off. All the factory packing stuff is still on it from 57. This door is factory. 57 Chevy, 5, 6, 7 Chevys, 4-door sedans, and 2-door sedans have the exact same wheelbase. Everything about them is the exact same. The door width, everything is the same, other than a 2-door has a longer door here. The post is further back, and the quarter panel is bigger. Which means you can door delete these things and just go ahead and bolt in some 2-door doors and weld up the hole in the back, and you're dialed. Now, these door bolts are fine thread, so put them where you're not going to lose them. Try not to lose them. But we'll just go ahead and peel these off right quick. Okay, top out. Got the bottom here. Oh, something's poking my leg. Okay. That. Oh, and this is not really a how-to, because if you really cared, you just buy a 2-door. But this is if you're broke like me. Where's the last bolt, Danielle? Oh, there it is. That one had a little tension on it.
Startled me.
Did it? Mm-hmm. Now the situation you're going to run into is you're going to have a bunch of these 4-door doors that are worthless. So now what we got to get the back door off. Now I've messed with this a bunch of times. Actually, we just got a brand new torch set. The back doors, so the front ones are bolted on. Well, the back ones are bolted on, but they use Phillips head bolts. That sucks. So, we're just going to grind it off as best we can. So let's get a grinder and some safety gear. I'll show you how to delete this right quick. I got to change stuff. I guess I should back up just 1 second here. I'll put my scientist glasses on. When you're doing this, you want to make sure you take your time, plot it all out, have a bunch of money, and overthink it. No, the only tools you need, a grinder. I don't even know why this is out. Right in the garbage. No tape measures involved. Grinder, maybe a screwdriver if you want, 7/16 socket, and a welder for reassembly. So now, all I'm going to do is basically cut anything that is holding this door on, which unfortunately is kind of in the way here, but okay, we got the bottom kind of off. It's a little tight. We'll zip the top piece. behind or backwards, don't look right at it. Okay. Oh, they built these 50s cars too good.
Try shaking them again like you just did.
Oh. This one's got cruise control. Okay, door off. Now this back door we actually need because this is going to turn into our quarter panel patch. Now when it comes to this, there's a couple of things you got to do to make sure it fits nice. Knock this off. Get that out of your way. Now, the post is really simple. It's spot welded all the way across here, and then down. You get in the back, you can see it's a little better. So you actually did a shit job filling it. And then the front, well, it's the front actually the same thing. So you can, and I've done it before. You can grind it, drill out all the spot welds. It turns to Swiss cheese by the time you try and get it out. So what I do, cut the whole mess out. The roof's a little rusty there. It'll leave a piece open, which we'll have to fill in. Luckily, we have lots of spare metal in that door. So we'll have to do that right quick. And actually down here, I like to keep this piece. So this is only on 4-door. And it's, obviously, it's just a little trim piece. There's nothing there. But it just makes a nice... You get in my way. It gets a nice loop for the door. So if you just kind of cut that out nicely around there, it ends up getting kind of butchered, but just has the nice flow to a 4-door door. And 4-door doors are almost identical to 2-door doors. The only real difference on a 4-door door, it has this little jut out, right? So you can see that. On a 2-door door, this is slightly bigger, so it goes all the way up. So when you're doing your conversion, you also have to cut this out, this piece out, otherwise it won't fit nice. You can stretch those doors. I've done that before. So you can take 2 4-door doors, like if you had 2 front passenger doors, slice it down the middle, lengthen it 6 inches, I think it's 6 inches, and you're good. And then you can tell a real shoddy 4-door, 2-door conversion, I guess, if they use this post and don't take this off and leave this part of the door. So it has a little kick. So there you go for if you're trying to find scammers online selling fake 2-doors and not being honest like me. Honest Dan's 2-door conversions. Okay, so, oh, hammer. You always need a hammer. Grab that tool. Okay, we'll cut this out right quick. Okay, store that away. Now we're going to cut this post Same deal, top and bottom. They have a little piece there. I'm just going to cut around it. You need a new disc, you need all the depth you can get. So the outside's easy to get. Unfortunately, it is attached on the inside as well, which is a hassle. So that's where I kind of just blindly cut and then hit it with a hammer until it comes out. If it works in the bedroom, it works in the shop, right? Oh, it should be nice to sit in here without a bunch of steel. Ow. It's in my bits. Gotta cut this. Okay, the top should come out. Perfect. Just gotta get the bottom. Oh yeah, this one sucks. Ready? There you go. You've essentially turned this car that you could have put back on the road no problem into scrap iron. So we're going to need this again. Actually, I have a set of proper two-door door posts. So now again, we're going to do it with four-door stuff. If you have a rotten two-door and a nice four-door, I've done it in the past too. You cut the post out, you can cut the whole window structure out, the inner stuff, so the mechanism for the glass to go up and down. Guess what? We're not going to the glass go up and down. We're going to glue it in like a base model 1957 Chevrolet would have had. This thing is rough down there. It needs some, the front rocker's not bad. It needs a rear rocker put in, and actually the floors are kind of buggered up too. So what we may end up doing is we'll put the doors on, we'll probably tack stuff into place just to get the look of it, but I think we'll probably end up leaving that kind of semi-detachable, because you know what's way easier to do is repair the floor right now than it is to do with the door welded on. So there you go. Let's unload all this. We have all sorts of Tri-5 Chevrolet stuff, so some of it's pretty junky, but this is actually... Yeah, we could do that. Okay, so now this...
The important part is done now. We did the thumbnail, so we can just give this away. Just throw it out.
Right on. It's made us money. So this is now all sorts of Tri-5 stuff, mostly 57 Chevrolet stuff that I've collected over the years and just moved. So, I mean, a lot of this is kind of whatever, hoods, beers. Wait, is this 57? Oh yeah, it must be. Which whatever. Now, what affects Tri-5, I buy these every time I see them. So these are garnish moldings. This one's actually kind of beat. But for the inside, for a two-door. And then, I don't have any back ones. All I have is fronts. Wow. So these are all important. Now the other thing we're going to end up doing, so we have to cut this back post out. Take that piece of glass out. Now, oh, the garnish molding's missing from there. It has no garnish moldings. Huh. What I was going to say, is this happening on this one? It doesn't. So a four-door garnish molding obviously is kind of square. And then that back one has a piece you can just weld them together, which we've also done. Huh, I thought I had a, maybe they're deeper down in the pile, but look at all these garnish moldings. Those are, every time I get them on a deal, I buy them. Some of this stuff is just, this is actually wagon stuff. Heater box. Oh, vintage coolant in there. This is nothing to do with this car. This is 57 stuff, but we gotta put that away. Now the other thing we can do with this car, the gentlemans that bought the 56 two-door, oh, I guess that's probably where the garnish moldings went now I think about it. They generously donated a set of slightly butchered quarter panels. This is the other side, but this is what someone had done is they got a new set of quarters, but they welded them over the old quarters, which was kind of a little buckshy. This one's actually really bad, you can see. Like this is just kind of junked together. So we could try and use these. The only problem is these are actually hardtop quarter panels. And the hardtop, I believe wheelbase and all that's the same, but the V is different. It's kind of softer on the hardtop, and it's actually, I believe, in a different spot is the other thing. So we'd have to kind of look at it, but you know what? A 3/4 panel is a 3/4 panel in my mind. So these are going to go in the shed too for storage. The back section's all the same. So honestly, if you like, you know, if we ever get a 57 Chevy, it's been crunched in the rear end or something like that, we can always use this. So, oh, this is 55. Man, we got stuff. So we're going to unload all this, make a big pile here, and look at all the space though, eh? What a concept. Can't imagine how fast I'm going to fill it up with crap. Anyway, we'll get everything unloaded so we can kind of get in here easy, and then we'll start welding her up. At least we'll get this half done because we can unload that half once we got that door post out on a future video. We got storage. Look at all this storage we got. I can't wait till we fill it up with junk. Oh wait, I already have. So this is a really nice door. Is there a light in here? There is actually, eh? Nope. Yep. We got a full Model 8 over here. Eventually we'll work on that. I've moved this so many times. Yes, all the shelving was in the garage I didn't like. Now we have a bunch of doors. This driver one actually looks in pretty nice shape. It's got glass in it and everything, so we'll grab that one. This is the matching passenger she's seen better days, and then I actually bought this door. I bought a car for this door, and I think it's in really nice shape. The other side was all stoved in, but that's a mint door. And then these two are just skeletons. I wonder if we should just put that on there just for now, because it's way easier to deal with. Pull these out of the way. I have a hard and fast rule. If you see a two-door door, you buy it. So this one, they all rot out in the same spots, which this one has. So this door is actually kind of junk here at the bottom and all down there. This needs a whole bottom piece put on, but for what we're trying to do, we can just set it on there and kind of get the thing, because dealing with a door full of glass and all that is a lot of work. But this one, well, the problem is Internal Dan really likes the wing window for aesthetic purposes.
Should we come back when you've decided?
We'll use that door. It's nicer anyways. I need the rolly cart. To the cart, Danielle. It's inside. Stupid poor life choices. It's gonna be way more work, but it'll look cooler. Ooh. There's slugs in this one.
Ew, gross.
Okay, so this door is pretty mint. On the bottom side, it's not all rotten. So this is a good door. Two of these, probably worth $500 these days. Can you man the floor jack? Woman the floor jack? Let's put it right in the middle. This is like old school. We got no tools. Oh, you're going the wrong way. We got no nothing. Are we on the thing yet? But we're gonna make it work. We should invite Eddie and Co over. I forgot about that, eh? We moved and our cousins are nearby. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, push her in a little bit. Well.
The floor's so smooth, it has a mind of its own.
A little bit more, maybe? Mind of its own, she says. Okay. She's a little stuck. Crank it up. Put it on the edge, on the back. Here. Just kind of hold it. Perfect. So now, I'm just going to zip in those bolts real quick and we'll bolt this thing in. I'll show you all the tricks. All of them.
How many of them?
There's no tricks. Hard work and small brains make two-door Chevys. Try 5-door sweep. So now when you're doing this, you can overthink it if you want. We're not building some show quality deal. We're just kind of having a little bit of fun here. Now, you really want to have a good fender so you can set your fender gap and then kind of go from there. Now, luckily, being a post car, and I haven't done this a bunch of times, they all fit the same way. Tri-5s fit unbelievably tight here. See, it's actually touching right there, basically, and almost overlapping there, so we have to bring the door in. But then we have a nice gap at the top here. Could actually go down just a hair on the back, but we're pretty close. So that is kind of where the door is going to be. You can adjust the fender, up, down, forward, back, whatever it is. This may have to go in just a little. The rockers being junk is kind of irrelevant. Actually, it lines up with the front of the rocker. Actually, it's not bad. The door fits pretty good, right? So that's that. Now, what we got to do is we're going to go ahead and do a little modification on this. So we got to do is this is double wall, so I'm gonna cut this little section out of the bottom and out of the top, just so it kind of fits nice. Then what we're gonna do, which we may actually do in another video, we're just gonna kind of tack this thing together and kind of get the idea of how it is. So where we cut the post out, obviously the post is going to go backwards about 6 inches. So it will cover half of this or a third of it. So you will have to make a repair panel here. It's just a little kind of L piece. And obviously back here we have a lot of repair to do. That's why I'm saying we're just going to kind of tack it all together and kind of start making it look like a two-door as much as possible, but should be pretty darn quick. So we'll zip that out. Put some grease on that. No, try 5. They all do the same thing. So we'll clean this up, and then I'll show you. We're literally going to latch the door to the post, close the post, weld it. You're done.
Dinner time.
Is that what it is? Dinner time? I'm ready. So this is our newfangled two-door post. So I've cleaned it up, the top and the bottom. I cut out this little 4-door piece. Oh yeah, so again, you can see this kind of did that, you know what I mean? And obviously on this door, we don't have that. So we don't need that no more. What else we got going on here? So I want to make sure your door actually latches. So this one actually does work, but just has a little. So it's good. And if you hold the button in, freewheels. So we bueno. Now what we're gonna do, we're literally gonna latch this thing. Right on there. We're going to close the door. We may have to give it a little bit of a cut. Oh. Got some junk in the way. What's my problem? Doesn't want to fit on the top. Where's my pry bar? Oh, there it is. We may have to do a little bit more trimming, top or bottom, but it should just kind of. Oh yeah, so we got to cut a little bit out there. Oh, right. It's all coming back to me. I got to slant the post a little bit. We're going to cheat it. Forgot about that. This little piece here, though, I always keep this on because this is what I'm going to use to join the skin to it. But realistically, that's your two-door right there. So that's about where the post wants to be. Kind of unlatch it. We'll go from there. So what we're going to have to do, just trim a little bit of the back so we can lean the post, and that'll just fit perfect. What I'm also going to do, so that's going to be a lot of trimming and screwing around. Ultimately, you can see clearly where the post was and where it's going to be. And then when the door's shut, we have a hole in the back. So now we've added 6 inches by adding the door. So now we have to remove 6 inches in the quarter panel. Said quarter panel. This thing's actually in really nice shape, but we're going to take it all right apart. We're going to cut all the inner structure out. We're essentially going to skin it. We're going to have to take 6 inches out of the front of the door on the bottom. What? So we're going to take 6 inches out of the front of the door here. What? 6 inches is a lot. Is that what the question is? Because the reason we're going to do the front of the door, not the back of the door, is this all has to still be in the same spot. The little V. We're actually going to latch the door on the back because that's really easy. So we'll take that out there. But vice versa, we have to cut because we need this section here. So we're going to do some sort of a goofy cut here across the back. We're going to turn this into 2 bits. And that's how we're going to fit everything in the back there. I was going to say something else. What was it? Oh, here's what I'm going to do. And this is, people say it's lazy or whatever it is. For me, it's being honest. If you were going to keep this car for yourself, this car's not a keeper. It was just kind of a fun project. And, you know, it was what it was. You can take all the latches, all this stuff off, clean it up, make it look really nice. For me, I like having it in there. It's a dead giveaway. It was always a 4-door. So you want to be honest when you're selling stuff. I'm a really firm believer in that. For inner structure, if People always ask about that. We're going to skin the whole thing. We're going to make it look like a car on the outside. Then when we take off from the inside, we're going to weld right back in. So what it's going to look like with the door panel off, it's just going to look like a shortened door that we've welded in. Just that easy. So I'll get to work cutting that all up and making this fit a little bit nicer. I mean, just work it back and forth. Again, nothing is permanent here. We're just going to kind of tack it in, get it all together. I typically do both sides. Everything's just all scabbed together, doors open and close before I actually solid weld it. But that's what we're doing. And again, I want to be able to take this all apart with just a couple of zip discs, or a couple of zip cuts, I should say, so I can fix all that metal in there. It's way easier to do right now, but super boring to do on YouTube. We want to see it be a two-door, right? Clickbait. Okay, so slight jump ahead, but we have the post in. I had to give it just a little cut there, just to kind of rock it back. But now, I mean, you can kind of see it's latched. So if we pull it out, the whole post comes out. So that's where we want it to be. We'll open the door. We can keep it like that. So that's where the post wants to live. That's where it's happy. But again, you can clearly see we have to weld this whole piece in. We have to weld in down there. So there's not a whole heck of a lot of structure to it. But we'll just kind of knock it into place. Not bad there. I guess I could have been a little better set up here with the welder, but we're just going to give her a little tack ski.
Little ticky-tack.
Little tick-tack. And we'll have something here right away before you know it. Before you know it. This is where people always panic and stuff. Eyeball it. Everything is...
Just tack it. You can just zip it.
Yeah, exactly. It's really no big deal is the way I see it. Now this is all ugly metal. Nothing is cleaned up or nothing like that. I mean, you can, clean her up, give her a, clamp it in, do all those things that you probably should do. Which I don't really have any good place to, see if they'll give us a decent enough ground. Oh yeah, we're mint. Oh, no, we're not. Never mind. Oh, right. You know what I should have mentioned? This is going to have a bunch of lead in it, which I didn't grind out. So we'll just go ahead and power through. Wow. Wow. Hang on. A little heat will take care of this. Wow, what's going on here, welder? I might have to, grind out the lead that's in there. I really don't want to. I'm super lazy, but I'll sneak it in here. Oh, yeah. Nope. Shoot! Okay. I gotta clean the lead out. It's not gonna weld otherwise. What a hassle.
Too much lead.
The back should be okay, though. I don't know why this isn't going. This welder's not happy. You put a few thousand miles on it, not strapped down, and it just... No bueno. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna latch this again. Okay, so that's where we want that. Now the latch is loose, so the door's in too far, so don't panic about that. We just did that to kind of get her all started. This should be just fine. Go ahead and make a nice little ground here. Can't use a zip cut as a grinder. Okay.
You beg to differ.
Yeah, I beg for it. Oh yeah, there's lead in there. Okay, that's not bad though. Get this bottom little speck. Oh, we're losing daylight. Fall, eh? Oof. There ain't much to weld here. Oh, I see what's happening. The welder needs a little bit of service. My tip's all bunged right up. Okay, this should ever so gingerly hold itself. It's not bad. What we got up here? Nothing. There's nothing to weld to. Okay, that's pretty ugly, but it's in there. Down here, unfortunately, right where at the front, might be good enough. So now, I'll adjust the latch out just a little bit. See what that does? Nope. Okay. So, the door's fitting okay. It's tight on my melon. And this piece that was the trim piece of the 4-door, that's what we're going to weld to. So that's going to give us our little gap. We will have to weld in here a little bit. That's not really a big deal. And then down here, see we have where this is all missing? That's where this little piece is going to come into play. We'll end up cutting it straight down.
Oh.
But that'll give us our little door kind of look.
Oh my gosh, cute.
Cute. And then up here now, so this is where we're going to do a little bit more trim. We're going to do this all in one take so you can kind of see it. But the door is going to line up at the back. Do you want to see the back here? So everything there is going to line up, right? I cut the post off a little high because we're going to cut that smooth and then cap it. But now you can clearly see the door is too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut straight down here at some point. Might be a tomorrow job. But for right now, we got to take care of the glass. Actually, this is all rusted in there. We should be able to pop this out right quick. I want some muffs on this one. Protect my poor little ears. This should pop out. And we're just going to cut. We're going to do kind of a bit of a eyeball cut here, but good.
The sparks were crazy on that. I moved to the other side so we could see better, but then you turned your back to me. So I wanted to come and run around, but it was literally like a wall.
It's 1957 Chevy Starks. The best there is. Okay. So that's our opening. Now what we're going to do, we're going to have to probably trim all this inner structure out, as I recall. Maybe we can keep some of it. See, that's what we're going to end up with. So, just that easy. So, I'll end up slicing this, and we'll have to take some, material out and move it back. You know what, we'll just cut this back piece off right quick. Let's just go ahead. Okay. Now I'm just going to kind of cut this in the squarest or straightest part as I can. So now, oh yeah, we have to cut all that off, but we can line that up. Maybe I'll just, you want to keep filming it, or I gotta trim this whole piece off?
We'll watch.
We'll watch? Okay, use the workbench here. Get this piece out, or I still gotta cut it? Okay, man. Yeah. Okay. So that there's kind of what we're gonna be doing. So let's zip this right quick. Okay. So that's what we want. Gotta get the welder again. So it's just kind of like screw around until it looks like something. It's actually been a while since I've done this with a. The last one I did was with a proper 2-door bit. Oh yeah, this needs to be adjusted actually. By adjusted, I mean zip cut. It's much easier if you have actual 2-door bits. Okay. So let's kind of eyeball that. Okay. That's held on there. That's not a bad door gap. I do say so myself. So what can we do here? It's ugly. But it'll hold enough to make it look like something. Oh no, it broke right off. So it's ugly and poorly done. Oh. And this welder. She ain't having it today. Okay. It's kind of a little twisted, but we'll body hammer that into place. So that's that. Now the other piece, obviously, that's how much we got to cut out. So kind of eyeball that one a little bit, but that's not too bad. And then with the door, we're gonna have to cut the whole section off there. You might as well take the trim off, I guess. So you can kind of start to see where it's going. So I'm gonna just kind of eyeball this a little bit. We'll have it probably a little bit of overhang just out of ease. And I'll cut this piece down a little bit. We'll come back, we'll kind of see it, and it'll look at a glance in poor light. We'll turn the lights off and everything. It'll look just like a mint, terrible two-door post base model. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of temporarily mount this thing. So want the gap as close as we can and kind of as legged up as we can. Oh, this is not going to be good. There's no. Where's the grinder? Don't do this at home, kids. Just get that somewhat lined up. Man, what is going on, welder? You know, the severe lack of tools, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have many tools to start with, but like, we didn't bring enough. I thought all I needed was a welder. Turns out, a pair of vice grips would be pretty sweet. Okay, so that's kind of where that's gonna be. Oh, this door's bent. That's kind of in line. We'll call that close. So now all we have is Danny has a chalk marker of all things. But I'm going to run a line down the inside here. Of where this little piece is. Sorry about this. A little, oh, look at all the patina on there. You didn't try hard on that, did you? So now we'll just disconnect this. And now I'm going to cut on the long side just to be safe. But that is how we're going to get eyeballed up to what we want. So now we'll latch the door. So we have a lot of play in it. But that's close. I'll trim that, then we can fit that piece in. It'll overhang the door a little bit, so just be aware of that, but that's fine. Then all we gotta do is just trim the piece in here, and then it's fitment, cutting, messing around, stuff like that, but you got yourself a two-door. Just we started at 5:30, something like that, and it's maybe 8:30?
8:10.
8:10, so there you go. Not a very hard process. The fit and finish takes a little bit more time, but if you just want to kind of get through it and see what it's going to look like, this is the way to go. The only thing you have to be aware of, it's kind of a straight line here, but this actually curves forward. So we're gonna be grossly on the excessive side, but that's fine. We'll be back when it's cut. So here is what we've kind of accomplished. Rough cut, the door might open, it'd be pretty tight. But again, we actually want to go a little bit further over. We're going to weld to that piece. I wonder if we can get it open. Oh yeah, we can. So what I'm actually going to do is at this point, come on in, come on. So you can see how close we are. If I just actually use the flap disc and make it right flush, then I can weld it right to this piece, and that's going to seal it all in. I learned that because on your car, I didn't do that. I had to build this piece, but I cut that off immediately. Don't do that. It also then gives it the nice curve of the Trafab Chevrolet. Realistically, I guess it might be a little more close if I actually cut a little bit more and weld it on the inside, so it's in just that one layer of metal. But all we're going to have to do at that point now is we got to fill a little piece in down here, which won't be too bad. A little section right there, which isn't too bad. And we have to fill in here because we did cut that out. So we got to do that. But now all that's left before it looks like a two-door is we got to trim this piece. So, oh, also here, I left this a little gappy. The reason is you're probably going to have to do like a little pie cut there and kind of fold it down and fold this up just so it kind of lines up, because this was obviously, it's similar but not the same. We run into the same situation here because you want to leave this bit because that's going to close nice, but up front here you're going to be in a bit of a flat area where this is kind of curving a little. So it's not the end of the world. And I mean, all I do is I kind of leave them a little gappy, to be honest with you, and I weld them. So you got a rather wide, like a double wide weld, and then just dress it with the welder, and that is how you get the perfect finish. So we're just going to eyeball this. Again, we don't have a marker, so yeah. I got this electric marker right here. That's a little on the big side, but we'll see how close it is. A good disc, didn't even shatter. Okay, we gotta go a little bit more, eh? Just a scotch. The scotch is like a quarter inch. Just a little bit more, but hopefully. Oh, so close. So it's just a little bit of overhang. One more, Dan. You'll do some trick editing for this, right? So it's not all boring. And we're back from edit. So I leave a bit of a gap front and back. Just kind of, oh, come on. Ground, baby, ground. Ever so ginger. Okay, it's close. Line it up. Oh. That's a little high, actually. Ooh, that's a little gappy. Let's just try it again. I didn't like any of that. You know me, I am a perfectionist. Man, this welder. It doesn't like this.
I have my eyes closed. I didn't notice you moved.
Oh. Doesn't like this crisp mountain air. Okay, we got her set a little hot there. Good. Yeah, that's got to come down, but it gives the impression. What we got going on here? It is a very satisfying thing to do. Let's just get everything out of the way here. We can kind of take a look at it. So we're going to need this for inside structure, but that is future Dan problems. Get this fender lined up maybe. Yeah. It's almost as good as having a half ton to toss everything in. I think we're going to put Bel Air trim on this thing because I have it. And I like Bel Air trim.
Oh, hey, there it is.
Yeah, so there we go. A 2-door conversion and, well, it's a 3-door. Everyone leave a comment. Leave it a 3-door. I love that one.
Maybe we will leave it a 3-door.
I don't think so. But this thing needs a set of fenders, so I've got my eyes peeled for a good set of 57 Chevy fenders. Usually 57 fenders are good. I've actually gone through them all and put them on all sorts of different cars. I mean, there's lots of little fitment stuff to do here, obviously. This kind of has to drop down. We've got to get these lines all together and whatnot, but that's not a bad gap. This gap, we're gonna set the gap with the grinder. Slice that, bend that down, you know, there you have it. But at a distance, and for the thumbnail, we got ourselves a 2-door Tri-5 Chevy. Again, if you made it to the end of this video, people always ask the same questions. I'm going to get a bunch of comments and a bunch of questions. I know they're the same wheelbase, whether it's a 2-door, 4-door, station wagon, Nomad, doesn't matter. All the same chassis. The distance of the windshield and all that is the exact same. This window, it looks a little different now because there's nothing in it. It is the same as a 2-door. We've had 2-doors. What will actually fit in here is 2-door glass. So I have 2-door rear glass, might be tinted, but we'll see. And it'll fit right in. So everything is the same. The roof height is the same. The only thing that gets tricky, 2-door hardtop, 4-door hardtop, and convertibles have a lower roof line, which means they have a different front and rear windshield, obviously a different side glass as well, being a hardtop. You can't, there's lots of other cars you can do this to. People always ask that all the time. If the roof line and the wheelbase is the same, you can probably make it happen, but Tri-5s are super easy. Sedan only, hardtops, hassle. There you have it. Don't tell me your 4-door Nova, can you turn it into a 2-door? You can do anything with enough grinding discs, but the roof line's different. It will be tricky, Chevelles, all that sort of stuff. Earlier, mid-60s, you can kind of get away with it. Probably 68 or so and up, it becomes tricky. There you have it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back at it. I don't know if we'll do the other side next, or if we should work on the inside here, what we should do. Or, I don't know, maybe start setting up the garage. So I'm literally not working out of a toolbox by Rubbermaid. Please leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind. Tell your friends. And, oh yeah, we're in a new shop. We moved. Maybe we'll address that in the next video. See you later.